pleasure to be introducing our featured speaker for the week for the last time in my, what do you call it, service as the Secretary Treasurer. What is it? My term in my capacity and service to you. So Les Meyerowitz from ERS Bio, the payroll and time and attendance solutions. Les, tell us what is the one of the most important things in time and attendance management that was the lowest hanging fruit for companies?
I think with time and attendance, it is in a lot of companies very well structured. In other companies, there's no real processes in place, and it forms such a vital form of your whole company structure that it needs proper attention.
Okay, and then personally, I have a question for you. Before I ask you the final question, so this is my last time. I won't have a chance to ask. I'll ask.
Make a meal of it, but it's fine.
I know that you are enthusiastic pilot and etc. So how did you get into that?
From a young age, I grew up with a family that stayed 2 doors away from us. They were a German family with father and 2 sons being glider pilots. And at age 7, 8, I was introduced to aviation through them. And from there, it's always been part of my life. I mean, I've never got my PPL or my CPL, but I've always been involved in all forms of aviation. Commercial pilots are my friends, and that's what I do in my spare time.
And what's another thing that we yet do not know about you, but it will benefit us greatly to know?
Jabela, don't do this to me.
I do it every week.
In 1977, at the ripe age of 16 years old, I got my call-up papers for national service. 2 years later, at the age of 18, I was in the Air Force for 2 years. I had an absolute ball, and it formed such a nice part of my life to grow and mature and not have your parents on top of you and learn how to deal with things on your own. My pay scale for the first year was 90 Rand a month. I received promotion about 6 months into my tour of duty, and my pay went right through the ceiling. I then went from 90 Rand to 180 Rand a month.
So you were a star employee right from the beginning, from your first opportunity, doubling your pay in 6 months. That's great.
Well, I wouldn't say that, eh?
I just did my maths. Thanks, Les. Enjoy your please proceed with your presentation.
Right. Well, ERS Biometrics, that's the company that I represent. What we do is we do hardware, we do software, we do development, maintenance, and we've got a help desk. We are a level 2 compliant company and 100% compliant with the Property Act. An intro to my family from the left bottom. That's my eldest son. He's in the Xstream Guards in the UK, the Defence Force. He's been married now for 4 years. He's age 35. His gorgeous wife's name is Storm. She has created the most successful business doing hair and makeup in the UK. Just to the right of that is my baby. He's 22 years old, sitting with my wife. My wife and I have been married for 29 years. She's my soulmate. She's my best friend and an awesome person to have around. To the right of that is my son Jay and his wife Stacy. Stacy's a dentist. She qualified 2 years ago. Jay is a software developer. He's got a BSc applied computing. He does all sorts of things that I don't understand. And they all enjoy beer, as you can see on the right-hand side. Social responsibility at ERS. We put a lot of emphasis on this. We spend a fortune on a monthly basis catering to all sorts where we see gaps, where different organizations need assistance. On Mandela Day, we went to Eden to Haste, an old age home. We did all sorts of cleaning up. We pampered the ladies and the old guys there. And then at the same time, another team went to Woodrock, which is a pet rescue center, and we did stuff at that facility as well. As far as cancer awareness goes, we had a sponsored golf day, and just as a fun thing, we installed a man trap with a breathalyzer in, and we breathalyzed the guys going onto the golf course. We breathalyzed the guys coming off the golf course. Nobody was allowed to drive. So, the 19th hole, correct. Okay, let's get serious now. This is our Rolls-Royce device. This device is a device that communicates to a cloud account via a SIM card which is embedded in the device, either via a 3G or a 4G card. So the infrastructure when you do installation on site is basically 220-volt power through a power supply, and that's all the requirement is. The device is rock steady. There's 3 different variants of this model. It can take, the smallest one takes 10,000 fingerprints, it then goes to 25,000 fingerprints, and the biggest one has got a capacity of 50,000 fingerprints. Besides doing time and attendance, it can integrate into all forms of access control as well. Our cloud-based software is very modular. As you can see on the bottom left, time management is just basically in-out reporting. Attendance is strict business rules with lunch breaks, tea breaks, all that type of thing built in. Then we have a mobile clocking app. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a few minutes. Access control, job costing, leave management, enforcer management, and there's a communication module. The time and attendance module. The big thing about time and attendance is what time have my staff arrived, what time have they left, have they taken the correct breaks, have they worked overtime, and how do I get this information? Through our software, we set up all these business rules, which automates the process and makes it so much more efficient as far as getting your information to the administrators in your payroll and HR department. Bureau Enforcer, this is a piece of software we developed about 5-6 years ago. What Bureau Enforcer does is the schlep of having to collate information on a daily basis of exceptions from the previous day, people arriving late, leaving early, working overtime, etc. This Enforcer module only takes information to the relative department to comment on yesterday's activities. Everybody in the business rules, there's no exception management. Everybody outside the business rules, it gets handled on a daily basis. Every day of the week, your software is up to date to handle your payroll. Access control, that same device I showed you a few slides ago, integrating turnstiles into man traps. Besides the access control component, we do metal detectors, X-ray machines, turnstiles, vehicle barriers, man traps, and breathalyzers. Integration into payroll. Here are a few of the different payrolls that we have successfully integrated into. The way we integrate is either through an API or through an export file, a CSV file, which then communicates directly with whatever you're using for your payroll. Smartphone clocking. You don't need our physical hardware. Everybody has got a smartphone. Everybody's got access to a clocking device in their pocket. It gives GPS coordinates. You can apply for leave on the device. We can geofence areas that you're driving into and out of with your device in your pocket to know exactly where you are. And it's a piece of software that's in development still, being successfully used but being improved on a month-to-month basis. Job costing is a typical example would be a panel beating shop. A car goes in for repairs. Who's worked on the car? How many hours have they spent doing different job categories on the car? And how do we allocate the labor to what we've actually done on that vehicle? So what we do is, as the car comes in, it's registered on the smartphone app or on a clocking device. You can physically go and register hours against a specific job by just putting your finger on a biometric reader, using a barcode scanner, or physically just tapping on the job code that the person's working on. Leave module. We simplify leave to a point where you can use the smartphone app to apply for leave. It goes straight to the correct person for approval, and within 5 minutes of applying, you can get a yes or a no, and it pulls through to your payroll as well. Communication module. It's very often quite hard to communicate with a big staff, especially in a massive company. On the software, type the message, allocate the message, send a bulk SMS, schedule an SMS to clients, schedule an SMS to your staff for wishing them happy birthday, etc. and all gets done and driven through our software. These are just a few of the satisfied clients we've got out there. Time and attendance solution they provide totally changed the way we do business. ERS Bio has cut down our payroll from a 5-day process to just 2 days. This company has been with us for about 10 years now, and they are very, very happy with our solution. What are my ideal referrals? Manufacturing industry, agricultural sector. In the agricultural sector, our job costing can integrate into scale technology as well, where the productivity of people in the lands doing tomato picking or whatever they're doing can actually be monitored through bringing a crate to a scale, putting it on the scale, and you can see exactly what's happening in real time at a remote location with what your productivity is all about. Retail operations with multiple branches throughout South Africa, mining with strict access control legislation, including breathalyzing on going onto the property, and companies with weekly wages that need to streamline their processes. Some of our clients include what you can see over there. We've got some massive clients. Our biggest client at the moment is Mittel. They at the moment have got over 500 of our devices, which is catering for 25,000 people on a daily basis with accurate reporting throughout the country. And that is my presentation. Any questions, folks?
Maybe just mention that only at those big companies also have companies.
As Celeste says, we have got massive companies, but we do cater for tiny firms as well. Our smallest client has got 2 employees, and as I said, we go through to multinational companies. There's no limitation as to what our software can handle.
Yes, in our business, we have the guys on an oversight, like the guys that are working now in series. How do we monitor their hours? They don't clock and they just send us their hours.
Okay, so Mary Ann, you've got 2 ways of doing it. The guys that are at the office can use a clocking device. The guys on site, mobile application, and not everybody has to have their own phone. So you can do multiple clocking with positive verification through the selfie camera. So the main guy on site will use his phone to clock in, and then he'll pass it around to staff. They'll face the actual camera towards them, clock in with GPS coordinates, positive verification, pulls through to the software in real time. You've got that kind of information. So,
Very nice.
Yes, mention your entry level price for like the mobile app. I think it's it's very attractive to a lot of people that have a small business. I think this thing's going to cost them tens of thousands of rands a month, and I think it's very economical.
okay, so a small company with approximately 10 people, you can use the mobile app with any hardware. Your initial cost is going to be in the vicinity of about 3,500 to 4,000 rand for year 1 because of the training component. Year 2, your software cost is going to be less than 1,000 rand for the year. That is the cost implication of having our solution.
It's so affordable. And the app's really cool.
Right, anything else? Guys, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you. And my 10 minutes is up officially.